Now, this thing that you mentioned now, it just occurred to me. I have a friend in the UK that were on the phone 4 days ago, actually, and he works in corporate, right? He has a decent IT job. He just got a child. Now we're talking on the phone, and he's like, "Give me a few minutes. I have to deliver this thing." I'm like, "Deliver what?" He said, "Oh, boy, do not dash on the side." I'm like,
And since the 1970s, the real GDP per capita of the UK has grown significantly. But you've got Brexit, you've got inflation, and you have the housing shortages that have hit the average Brit very hard. Is growth real if the people feel poorer?
no, it's not, for sure. I mean, I've always struggled with this, right? I remember I was in this economics class back in Hohenheim, and I just couldn't understand. It's like it was so glaring that GDP is not everything, right? Then this lecturer kept on going with this whole idea of per capita this and that and the growth. And I'm very sure if you ask anyone who have lived in 1975 and right now in the UK, they would give you all maybe unanimous answers, right? Like, nah, this is it's terrible right now. And now
Yep.
we are talking about GDP going stronger and all, but it's not about that. It's about how the people experience what is going on. And I don't have to be in Britain to know for sure that a lot of their millionaires are leaving and they're going to places like Dubai, to Singapore, and just to
Yeah.
avoid like the taxis. Like there's no real solid
Yep.
development right now in
Yep.
the UK. I think if you want to give an example of a collapsed civilization, or at least on the
UK.
decline, the UK is the prime example of that.
So it is. Economy-wise, I'm serious, Look, I was working on a project with a much older colleague, and back in the days, this older colleague was already comfortable enough to buy a vacation house in Spain. He was collecting cars, Fast forward to 20, I think that project was around 2020 or something, or 2020, around 2021 or 22. Fast forward to 22, that vacation house had to be sold. His car collection is the one thing that is holding on to close to retirement. That tells you the story. Just from one person's perspective, but yeah, it tells you the story. Now you have a country as great as the UK, and that country only has let's say England, for example. Let me not bash the whole UK, but at least England only has one reasonable city that you can be like, okay, there's still a charm to it. London.
It's not the same London that people say you get stabbed every time you go. Maybe not every time. Now the chances of you getting stabbed
in London,
is higher than
everyone sees you with a nice wristwatch and they're telling. I've heard it so many times, brah. Don't go around London with that wristwatch. Don't relax. It's fine. Imagine, and people will be like, "Yeah, you should get a fake wristwatch that you can wear in London," and then you get stabbed for a fake wristwatch. Isn't that crazy? I think there was even a news about that. Yes, and that's the one reasonable city. Birmingham, it's a beautiful hole.
So the two hole. Yeah.
I mean, people living in Birmingham, they agree to this. They accept this, which is crazy.
If they are finding it hard to agree, they should travel to Germany for once and see the difference, man. It's clear, bro.
Night and day.
Clear.
Night and day. Yeah. So I absolutely agree with you that the growth is not real if the people feel poor. The GDP thing, and
fickle.
even if they're using GDP per capita, blah blah blah, the way the wealth is still concentrated. Look at the salaries in the UK in 2025.
Yeah.
Look at how the wages in the UK are developed, considering the housing prices. So.
Bro. Now this thing that you mentioned now, it just occurred to me. I have a friend in the UK that were on the phone 4 days ago, actually, and he works in corporate, right? He has a decent IT job. He just got a child. Now we're talking on the phone, and he's like, "Give me a few minutes. I have to deliver this thing." I'm like, "Deliver what?" He said, "Oh, boy, do not dash on the side." I'm like, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother as well in the UK actually. Like he doesn't do it regularly, but he has another contract where weekends he will quickly
Wow.
go do care stuff. Like he has a proper job in the office and all the stuff, but whenever they want to work towards a particular stuff, because his
Yeah.
wife is also off work at the moment, he will just pick one weekend and be like, let me quickly go do one strong 36 hours.
Man, that's wild, man.
Bro,
Yeah. You
like,
can't even
eh,
sustain your
yeah.
household on one income.
Like
Like, even
on one income, it's not happening. It's not happening. Everyone in the UK, like I watched some YouTube videos and they'll be like, I earn so good. We're a family of two. We're a family of four, 2 kids. We earn so good. I get £2,500, and another one is I get £3,000. And this is like I earn so good in the UK. Just stop it.
yeah.
For a first world, I use the word first world.
Nah.
For a developed country,
Yeah. Like forced anything or even develop. Nah. Bro, they know this too. They are struggling, man. They're struggling.
they're struggling. Yeah, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do in the UK.
Bro, I'd argue, man, for sure. Nigeria is richer than UK. See, forget all their GDP per capita, man. See, when it comes down to it, we can create stuff, man. We can go fully on farming. We can go fully on oil. We can go fully on a lot of these things, right? But UK don't have nothing, man.
Another financial system, which is massive because for Europe, they have the advantage of the language and the financial system, right? Because
Yeah.
compared to Germany, in Frankfurt now, the stock exchange, it's still very German oriented. And it's affected by everything that will affect innovation in Germany and speed. But then you've got London, and London is smashing it. And London is competing with
Yeah.
New York, the only other
Yeah.
city that could. And that's what you get to.
Well, all these things are fickle, man, bro. It's just these are just top level stuff, man. They call these are things you have to build up to in civilization. They are not the
Yeah.
fundamental things.
It's not the fundamental basis.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. But I mean, they've got some farmlands and stuff because it's a big country as well. But it's a big sparse country, so they do have some farmland and all that stuff. So it just depends on where their priorities, where they want to put it. But yeah, we're on the same page on that one. Economy for the UK. So there's 2025 compared to 1970s from the holistic perspective. Okay, -1. Next.